Hi, I'm Matt Bailey, and welcome to a spooktacular Weekend Notes on this Halloween 2020. It is so good to be back with you after taking September off and most of October. My thanks to our editor-in-chief, Buddy Yan, for taking his notable releases segment to new heights by expanding it and turning it into a great replacement for Weekend Notes. I'm sure you will be seeing more notables in the future. Now, before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the little bell icon so you can stay up to date with us with the latest music news alerts. Our top story this week: 2020 may have been a miserable year, but this holiday season will still be fun. That's right, Garth Brooks is dropping his long-awaited studio album November 20th, along with a deluxe version of Triple Live, which was initially released in 2018. For more on this, let's bring in the Music Universe editor-in-chief and founder, Buddy Yan. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am great. We've both dressed up for Halloween. What are you supposed to be, just generic rocker?
I am my rock star self 10 years ago when I was a rock star.
I think you need shorter hair.
Excuse me? No, it's not long enough.
No, see, short. Really? Didn't you drum with buzzed hair?
I've cut it twice in my life, and you did probably see pictures, and they're out there of me with shorter hair, but the long way is the way to go.
Any idea what I am looking at this getup? Any idea?
Yeah, the guy you were just talking about, but, in press conference mode.
Yes, I am press conference Garth, and he's very intentional. Every time he does a press conference, that's just a tour press conference. It's a hat and it's a sweatshirt. So that's my costume. But the sad thing is, this isn't just a Halloween costume. This is what I wear on the airplane when I used to travel pre-COVID. This is just my airplane outfit.
And this is kind of my airplane outfit, depending on where I'm going. But this might be the better outfit than what you were really super trying to entice me to be earlier today. And I had to say no. Number one, I didn't mind it, but it was just too short of a notice. And I couldn't find the get up. So we'll try for next year.
Folks, I wanted him to be Reba, and I offered to send him a wig through Amazon so that we could actually do this. We're recording on a Wednesday so that we can edit this together for Friday, for Saturday, for Halloween. I wanted to send him a wig and record tomorrow once the Prime delivery got to him, but he wouldn't go for it because he respects drag queens. And he said, a lot of men have... No, you do. You said a lot of men have dressed up as Reba, and I'm not a drag queen, so I'm not going to try to do it. I get that, but there's also this great tradition of talk show hosts, right? Not dressing up as opposite sex, as famous people or characters who are the opposite sex. And you asked, why is it always me that is to be the girl? You said that for yourself. I said it's because you have the long hair. Long hair works for rock and roll, too.
Yeah, it does, rightfully so. But, maybe next year when I have more time to plan it, not the morning of filming, and maybe I'll be Reba, maybe you'll be Winona.
Maybe the two redheads. That would be fun. So let's dig into the news of the day, the big news of the week, the month, the best news to come out of 2020 in my mind as far as music. We're finally getting fun. He's released 7 tracks already. So that means we're only getting 8 new tracks, one of which was teased in the documentary. Do you think the Garth fandom is just going to whine and bitch and moan that we're only getting 8 new tracks, or do you think they're happy that we have a full album coming? What do you think?
Well, we're only getting 7 new tracks because it's only a 14 track album. So, yeah. So, I think people are finally pleased it's coming. And, as I said last week on Notable Releases, it has a limited edition holographic cover. Think of the Chris Gaines cover. And disc as well, I heard him say. And then, we have Triple Live. Now, I think... Well, let me go a little further with Triple Live. We actually have 6 covers for that, much like we did with Double Live back in '98. but there's not really a limited edition cover this time. It's two exclusives. One's through Talk Shop Live and one's through Walmart. And then if you order online from any other retailer offering it, you get a random cover. So if you order 4, you might not get 4 different covers. You might get some of the same, maybe one of the same. I don't know. So I plan, I already have it pre-ordered through the 2 exclusives, and then plan to go to Target that morning. Lord help them that they have them, since they've shaved their CD section back, which I can rant about that at another time, and pick up all 4. Then I'll have all 6. But I think everybody's excited that they're coming. Plus, Talk Shop Live has a bundle where you get the limited edition fun cover, plus their exclusive of Triple Live, plus their Christmas album, Christmas Together, he and Trisha's duets album from a few years back, for $20 plus free shipping. So that's a stupid deal, as Garth would say, at a stupid price. So you got to pick it up if you're planning to collect them all. Why not?
Yeah, but being the Garth cynic that I am, what do you think from the journalist perspective of the numbers and the releases and what it means for his record? What's he doing with Christmas Together?
Well, I mean, you have to price everything at a certain price in order for it to count, and he knows how to do that, and I think he's trying to, sell that album more, and it definitely counts if he's got it packaged at the right price, and I think it's $250 per disc or something like that. So if you do the math, you can add it up, and I'm sure he's pushing that one. I mean, the dude's at 9 diamond albums, so why wouldn't he continue,
Keep going. I don't know that anybody will ever match that record. Now, Let's move on here. Fun's coming, Triple Live. Oh, Triple Live Deluxe before we move on. 30 tracks. Not that many new tracks, especially if you got vinyl and you had All Day Long as the Easter egg in there from Notre Dame. Not that many ads to the disc. I think it's one more song per disc.
Yeah.
Is that fair to call that a deluxe album? We love Garth, but let's call it like we see it here. 30 tracks. Is that for a triple album? Is that a deluxe album?
Not to me. That could easily fit on 2 discs. I'm a little disappointed that we're not getting more tracks, although I'm excited to see this finally come out. I'm just old-fashioned. I would have loved to seen Triple Live in its standalone form when it was first announced, and then push it in the box sets and stuff. But, I'm not going to complain. It's coming. We get 3 additional tracks. I'm sure he's holding back for additional reissues, which he's mentioned. And yes, All Day Long was included on the CD edition of the vinyl collection, but not the vinyl itself, which kind of, I finally sat down and listened to during the pandemic, and I was pleasantly surprised by the clarity of it. And, he's also, one thing I did mention too in the previous announcements, that the Legacy collection has been split up now, and all vinyls will be issued separately via Walmart, but it's the analog original mix editions plus at least 2 covers of Triple Live that were released in the Legacy collection that you're going to be able to pick up at a pretty decent price. I mean, I think the triple vinyls were about $19 a piece. So that's coming out in November as well. So a lot of Garth stuff. If you're into collecting every variation of it, it's going to get expensive next month.
Great. And let's switch gears here, talk a little bit about politics and music. Now, we're not going to get partisan, but Tenacious D has a new cover of Time Warp from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, one of my favorite all-time musical songs. I've actually never seen the musical, and I have theater gays that want to crucify me for that, but we won't get into that. But it was actually released with a viral video with Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, politics, and other celebrities being political, because there's the line in there, jump to the left. So all of the celebrities, the liberal celebrities, would say the line, jump to the left, jump to the left, jump to the left. Meanwhile, Ted Nugent was out campaigning for Donald Trump, opening for his rally in Michigan yesterday as we're recording this, but earlier in the week. Do you think political endorsements by music celebrities, again, without getting partisan, because say what you want about that viral video, Jack Black has a set of pipes on him like you wouldn't believe for how funny an actor he is. as you saw in School of Rock. And of course, Ted Nugent is just a phenomenal artist, regardless of what you may think of his politics. Do artists getting political really move the needle? Like, are we that beholden to pop culture that we do what Ted Nugent or Jack Black tells us to do?
Yeah, in fact, John Bon Jovi played at Joe Biden's rally recently too. So I think music and politics, I don't want to say they go hand in hand, but these artists are who they are, and people listen to them. Pearl Jam, U2, they've all been political, highly publicized political bands over the years. So I think a lot of people follow what they do, and will vote for who tells them to vote that way, whether they believe in them or not. We all have our own thoughts on it, but I think they do have a huge impact.
Sure. Well, Buddy Yan, editor-in-chief at the Music Universe, thank you for joining me as always. And now let's get back to some other stories. Lifelong friends Steve Lukather and Joseph Williams have announced a new Toto lineup with world-class players. The band is in motion to bring their Dogs of Oz tour around the world. These shows will feature all the hits, deep cuts, and solo music from Luke and Williams' individual catalogs. Joining Toto for this next chapter in their indelible history are bassist John Pierce from Huey Lewis and the News, drummer Robert Sput Searight from Ghost Note and Snarky Puppy, bands I've never heard of, but the fact that they're joining up with Toto makes me want to look them up. Keyboardist, background vocalist Steve Maggiora, who's played with Elvis and Moms Mabley, talk about another legend. Keyboardist Dominique Xavier Tapline and multi-instrumentalist and vocalist Warren Ham are continuing their tenure in the ensemble alongside Lukather and Williams. This marks the 15th incarnation of the Toto lineup. Crowded Horse, let's go all the way down under, has announced that they will tour New Zealand in March 2021 on their To the Island tour. New Zealand is currently not under any pandemic restrictions. The news comes as the band releases its first new music in more than a decade with the debut of the single Whatever You Want. The tour and new music feature founding members Neil Finn and Nick Seymour, along with producer and keyboardist Mitchell Froome, guitarist and singer Liam Finn, and drummer Elroy Finn. So it's a Finn family affair right there. Let's talk now about RIAA Records. Taylor Swift has garnered a total of 12 new Recording Academy records. Among them, her critically acclaimed 5-star 2020 album, Folklore, has achieved gold and platinum status. It became the top-selling record of 2020 worldwide and is the only album this year, think about this, to cross 1 million albums in pure sales in the U.S. Quite the feat considering what the pandemic has done to the buying market for music as a whole. Other certifications include You Need to Calm Down, minted triple platinum, platinum and gold, The Man, certified gold, and platinum, and Me, now double platinum. Additionally, the single Lover picked up, get ready for this, gold, platinum, and double platinum certifications. This Thanksgiving weekend, Magnolia Pictures will release Zappa, a documentary that explores the life of Frank Zappa to theaters and on demand. With unfettered access to the Zappa family trust and archives, the doc explores the private life behind the mammoth music career that never shied away from the political turbulence of its time. Writer and director Alex Winter's Assembly features appearances by Zappa's widow Gail Zappa and several of Frank's musical collaborators. Speaking of the holidays, SiriusXM has announced their extensive holiday music lineup, featuring 17 ad-free channels, including a new channel, Jolly Christmas, as well as the much-anticipated Holly and Holiday Traditions channels. 14 of the music channels are available on the SiriusXM app right now, and that's earlier than they typically do those channels, put them up, and assign them a spot on the dial. SiriusXM's holiday channels will offer listeners a variety of traditional Christmas songs, contemporary holiday pop songs, country Christmas classics, seasonal soul music, Hanukkah music, and classic Christmas favorites. And now for some music business news. Staying with SiriusXM Holdings, Inc. has completed its acquisition of the Stitcher podcasting platform. With this acquisition, alongside Pandora, Simplecast, and AdsWizz, this latest addition means new ways for creators to find and connect with a broader audience. And by the way, you can find both Talk for Two, my personal celebrity interview podcast, and our Music Universe podcast on Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts. Got to get that in there. Back to the business news. Ticketmaster has announced the development of Smart Event, a new suite of technology tools that helps fans and venues safely return to live events. Designed with flexibility in mind, Smart Events gives event organizers the ability to adapt protocols to meet evolving needs for capacity, distancing, and other logistics throughout the reopening journey for concerts, comedy shows, and other events. And this Veterans Day, Big Machine Label Group and Creative Vets continue their partnership with the release of an upcoming EP via Big Machine Records. The 3-track EP features Brantley Gilbert, Love and Theft, and, forgive me if I butcher this name, Kelsey Kulyk. Kulyk. That's a cool name, and I'm sure I didn't say it right. And it follows the release of their debut album, Veteran Songs. Now, Creative Vets, we've talked about them on Weekend Notes before. They empower wounded veterans to heal through the arts and music. Through songwriting sessions, they are providing veterans struggling with PTSD and brain injury the opportunity to use art, music, and creative writing to share their experiences and enable them with the tools they can use for the rest of their lives. I absolutely love Creative Vets. And finally, Julien's Auctions has announced that 2 of the late Eddie Van Halen's most iconic guitars will take the stage of Icons and Idols trilogy Rock and Roll, the auction house to the Stars annual extravaganza on Friday, December 4th and Saturday, December 5th, live at Julien's Auction in Beverly Hills and online at juliensauctions.com. I can't afford what they're going to go for, but you can bet I will be sitting there monitoring, watching the bets, and just clicking, going up and up and up and up. Now, Eddie Van Halen, of course, one of rock's most influential guitar legends of all time, headlines this all-star lineup featuring hundreds of artifacts and memorabilia owned and used by some of the world's greatest music artists of all time, including Kurt Cobain, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Lady Gaga, David Bowie, Aerosmith, and more. Not sure how Gaga got in there. Isn't she still in the midst of her career? What does she have to put up for auction? All right, we'll give it to her. But back to Eddie Van Halen. Rest in peace, Eddie. Wherever you are up there, I know you are shredding it up. Those are your weekend notes. Before we go, remember to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so that you don't miss a single video and music alert from us. Remember, you can always check out themusicuniverse.com for the latest in music news and reviews. Plus, there's the addictively listenable, not my words, Music Universe podcast. This week's guest is Chris Robertson from famed Southern rock band Black Stone Cherry. I'm Matt Bailey. Happy Halloween, stay safe, and have a great weekend. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. I'm doing Garth at the acoustic show. Like, this is press conference or acoustic. Like, okay, I guess to be Garth, I have to take off the glasses here. Now could I do it? Should I sing Rodeo? No, I shouldn't sing. Okay, fine. I won't sing, but happy Halloween. We'll see you next time.